They are setting up something huge as we have a massive New York Yankees update to go over after an insider has revealed the truth on the Yankees' plans regarding a position that nobody has really been talking about throughout this free agency period, though it does matter both for the present and for the future. We're going to go over this, discuss the position, and discuss the recent update according to an insider with the Yankees holding interest in one specific player who they have liked for a while now. We're going to dive right into this, guys, but before we do that, if you are part of that 68% that is not subscribed to Yankees Digest, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single New York Yankees update, because we got videos coming out every single day regarding the Yankees multiple times a day, breaking down all the latest news and reports on the team, and we're having a ton of fun doing it. But let's jump into the video, guys. There is a lot to talk about on the team right now as the New York Yankees are setting up something huge. The Yankees right now are yet to make a free agency move, and there's been a lot of talk about some different moves regarding pitchers. Obviously, regarding Cody Bellinger, Kyle Tucker. There's been a lot of talk, and that's actually not surprising at all because welcome to free agency. But recently, Yankees insider Chris Kirschner did discuss a lot surrounding the team and surrounding a position that nobody's been talking about, which is the third base spot. Right now occupied by Ryan McMahon, though McMahon did struggle enough with the Yankees in the regular season. And plus, the back end of that batting order is very, very sketchy. So this is a position that the Yankees do have to look at least in some degree. And Kirschner talked about that, saying that it seems likelier that the Yankees would get a platoon player for Ryan McMahon at third base, as opposed to trying to upgrade the offense that way rather than trading him. He is under contract for 2 more seasons at $16 million per year. It's not the easiest contract to move, especially with McMahon being a glove-first player. Re-signing Amed Rosario to hit against lefties would make sense. If the Yankees want to pursue a reunion, or if they want to spend a bit more money, Kazuma Okamoto, who's coming over from Japan, could also make sense. Okamoto is a very interesting player here for the Yankees because he would end up being in a platoon role between third base and then probably also spending some time at first base depending on matchups as well. If the Yankees do want to optimize the amount of just depending sort of on right-handed and left-handed pitchers, they could move Okamoto around a little bit, also depending on Ben Rice, throwing him in a DH spot or in the catcher spot, depending on what the certain pitcher is sort of throwing and what hand the pitcher throws from. So that would be a very interesting move. I like the idea of Okamoto. I do think he is the most underrated player coming out of Japan this offseason. Nobody's really been talking about him a whole lot, but he is very, very talented. Now, he was also projected by an insider from NewJersey.com that the Yankees would be the team to sign him, as he's a right-handed hitter who could provide Aaron Boone with a plethora of lineup options with his ability to play both third and first base. And again, that's what I'm saying. You look at Okamoto, he hits from the right side, so you could replace him for McMahon when you're facing lefties, and then also if you're facing a right-handed pitcher or something like that, you don't have to use Okamoto at all. You could also keep McMahon in the game sometimes, take out Austin Wells, have Ben Rice go behind the plate and move Okamoto to first base. So there is a few different options here the Yankees would be able to work with through signing Okamoto. So if they're willing to spend that money, it would make some sense. The man has been very, very good throughout this time. We're going to make these numbers bigger so you can see him a little bit better because they're really important to look at, especially when you consider that his OPS was above 1 this last season that he played. In the 69 games he appeared in, he looked very, very good, hitting 15 home runs. And he just played absolutely great baseball. Yeah, he strikes out a decent amount, but that's not really that much of a concern because he did have a great batting average. Ben had a .327 batting average, showing potential to be a leadoff hitter for the Yankees, which is really, really important here to also note. Now, he's not really the fastest guy in the world. He doesn't steal a bunch of bases whatsoever, so there is that. But he would be able to give the Yankees another contact bat who does have some pop and also would be able to be a third baseman for this team, platooned with Ryan McMahon. It does make a ton of sense for the Yankees. Are they going to be able to pull it off? That's the big question. They'd probably have to pay him a good amount for him to be willing to be a platoon player at first, because most other teams would probably be able to give him a better option than that. So that does make it tough. But Okamoto does fit what the Yankees would be trying to do pretty perfectly here, and I really like the idea of it. Now, Ryan McMahon, I like McMahon. He's a great fielder. He seems like a good guy to have on the team, but he's limited, man. He's certainly limited. He had a .208 batting average with 33 hits, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs, and 20 runs scored in 54 games for the Yankees this past season, and his only season that he's ever played for the Yankees, or half season. He had a 641 OPS in that span as well. McMahon was not doing great stuff at the plate whatsoever. He's been an excellent fielder, but he wasn't doing great stuff at the plate. He did hit a home run but in the playoffs, but that's really all we saw out of McMahon. We didn't see a ton out of him when the Yankees would ultimately lose to the Blue Jays in Game 4. McMahon did give him that home run, but outside of that, there hasn't really been a ton to look at and feel super confident with going forwards. He's an end of the batting order type of guy, if anything, and even that, when you're hitting 208, is a stretch if you're on a contending team. Now, there's also Amed Rosario, who played quite well for the Yankees, who the Yankees acquired the same day that they acquired, or the day after they acquired Ryan McMahon. Rosario hit with a 303 batting average, had a home run, and had a 788 OPS. He's also a very good fielder, can bounce around from second base to third base to shortstop even if you need him to. Rosario can bounce around, and he also gives the Yankees a cheap option to use as a platoon with McMahon. I do think the more likely option is that the Yankees do go with Amed Rosario, so they don't feel like they have to spend money at that third base position, even though Okamoto would be an excellent fit with the team. At the same time, if you do have Rosario facing lefties, any game that you're playing against a lefty pitcher, you can sort of use a nice lineup where you have Rosario leading off, likely Cody Bellinger batting second, and then Aaron Judge batting third, considering that Cody Bellinger hits lefties as good as any left-handed bat in baseball. It does make sense for the Yankees to go out there and try to do this. And the sirens are also finally gone, which is nice. So Rosario does give the Yankees a cheaper option to go out there and sort of help and let the Yankees kind of figure out what the future of third base is at a later date. Something that would not be surprising if they're interested in. Now, Okamoto, right now, this video, I'm filming it on December 4th. So he is exactly 1 month from the time I'm filming this video to make his decision on where he's going to sign. When we look at these times, it does look like Murakami will be the first domino to fall, but that's not necessarily a guarantee. Any three of these guys can sign right now if they wanted to. It's just when they have to sign by, because it's after a certain amount of time from their posting date. Now, Murakami will sign. He'll probably sign with the Dodgers, knowing how that operates. Amai has shown a willingness to not want to sign with the Dodgers and not play with every other Japanese player in the MLB, so that's pretty interesting. That does leave the Yankees as an opening amidst some other teams as well, including the Mets. And then also Kazuma Okamoto, who does have the most time by 2 days and also will have to navigate the situation. And also, what Murakami ultimately decides will impact Okamoto, because Okamoto is also a third baseman and first baseman. The difference is Okamoto is more of a third baseman than Murakami, who it feels like Murakami is a pure first baseman. So it does lead to a whole lot of interesting conversations surrounding what exactly is next for the Yankees for this team going forwards. And I do want to see the Yankees ultimately sign Okamoto because he's the best option for the team. He gives them the best chance to win baseball games. And when we look at the rest of third base, it doesn't really make sense for the Yankees to spend a ton of money on Alex Bregman, as much as I would love if they did that. And then outside of that, I mean, the only other guys, I don't want to run back Isaiah Connor-Falefa. I know there's been some interest there by the Yankees. Yoan Moncada doesn't really interest me that much. It's just, there's not much to go off of. Paul DeJong was terrible with the Blue Jays. I know the Yankees did have a bit of interest in him a year and a half ago or something. On top of that, you could always look at Miguel Andujar, try to get that reunion going, but for the Yankees, I think the most sense is either going with Rosario and keeping it cheap, or going for Okamoto, which is what I want to see them do. What do you want to see them do? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Yankees.